As far as classic consoles are considered, the original Nintendo Entertainment System might be the most classic of them all. It is Nintendo's second highest selling home console and has a huge library of games. Lots of Nintendo's most beloved franchises started on this console. How many of those games are worth a shit nowadays, though? Not very many. As far as I'm concerned, Punch-Out is sitting at the very top of the games that did age well. When I first started playing, I was surprised with how well the game felt. The controls were super tight and there was no jankiness, which is extremely common with these retro NES games. The game also has these giant sprites that are full of such emotion and character. But the real reason this game is so good is because of the combat system. Little Mac only has 2 regular punches and a super. His defenses are boiled down to just dodging and blocking. Blocking is the low risk option that pretty much will always help you out, but you still take some damage and stamina, while dodging is the high risk, high reward option. Landing a successful dodge is the key to being able to quickly counterattack. You might think that blocking is just a scrubby way to play, and once you're good enough, you'll just be dodging everything, but this is not the case. It's the combination of these 2 options that add a lot of depth to the defensive options. And then you have the enemy design. Each one of these characters is so expressive, and the game uses this as a way to give you tells on what attack they're going to do next. This guy shakes his head, this guy moves his eyebrows, and this dude flashes the jewel on his turban. As you progress, these tells become less lenient, but they're always there and you can always react to them. Some of these fights can even become puzzles on how you have to beat them. You can punch King Hippo all you want, but you'll never do any damage to him if you're just wildly swinging about. That's when you start paying more attention to what Doc is saying, and you realize that this is more than just encouragement. This is a tip telling you how to defeat him. And once you crack the code, you beat this guy's ass so hard, he doesn't even want to get back up. This game makes you feel so empowered once you figure these guys out. Every once in a while, you do something so sick that you knock this dumbass out in one punch. Truly, nothing is more satisfying. None of the fights in this game feel unfair. You can go the whole game without looking up what to do next. And in an era where this cryptic bullshit is everywhere, this is the mark of a truly well-designed game. Okay, so you've beaten all 13 opponents. The challenge was hard, but nothing you couldn't overcome. The credits roll and you feel victorious. But there's one fighter left to go. Mike Tyson. Hey, you look a little different. I guess that's what a 10-year sentence will do. Despite this is a ridiculous final boss fight. Right out of the gate, this dude comes swinging, and every single punch in the first part is an instant KO. You absolutely have to react to these punches. The moment you start trying to predict them is the moment when you're gonna get your ass handed to you. This first section is by far the hardest part of the fight. Once you make it past this, he becomes more in line with the previous opponents you faced. He'd still be the hardest fight in this game even without the first phase, but add that in and you've got one of the most infamous final bosses in all of gaming. This first phase disciplines you. Once you make it past it, you're in so much shock that it's hard to react to his much more predictable attacks. He wore me down so much that I didn't think I was ever going to be able to beat him. I could make it to the second round about 10% of the time, and the third round about 5%, but I could just not beat him. By the 5th time I'd lost to him in the 3rd round, I was ready to throw in the towel. But I didn't. I made it back to the 3rd round again, and not only that, but I proceeded to whoop his fucking ass. I give Punch-Out a 9 out of 10.
Well, that's where I see things just a little differently. Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor.